Now, when it comes to a 5.7 HEMI RAM, there's endless modifications that anybody could do, pretty much. Now, the question is, which one really does work best? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5.7 HEMI RAM. What is really like the best mods that actually works? That's definitely is like a pretty much very much recommended. I'll say pretty much. What's the best mod that's actually very much recommended and a lot of people tend to do? I came up with a list of few things that I feel like these are like the absolute best. I know for a fact that these mods would definitely increase your performance 100%. And this is any guys that probably have a fast 5.7 HEMI or the Ram 1500 trucks. I guarantee you, there's not there's damn, I can't even talk, but I guarantee you that there's not one mod on this list that they haven't done or that they don't have on a car or truck right now, I'll tell you. But before I get into explaining to you guys, pretty much, I want to say welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. And if you are here for your first time on the channel, if you're a Mopar guy or you like these 4th generation Dodge Ram, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow along my journey, pretty much with my 2014 Dodge Ram that I'm going to be pretty much doing a lot of mods to. Pretty much, this truck is not just a daily driver for me, it's also part of my life. So I'm going to be doing a lot of changes with this truck, so you definitely want to stick around. But now, when it comes to a 5.7 HEMI RAM, there's endless modifications that anybody could do, pretty much. Now, the question is, which one really does work best? So with me, honestly, this is the list that I know for a fact. Any guys that has anything that's fast RAM or fast HEMI, whatever, 9 times out of 10, this would be like their guide list of what they will probably typically do, or if not, probably close to that. But the number one thing I'm gonna speak on is the gears. I'll say, especially if you got, it depends on if you got a, obviously if you got a car, the gears probably gonna be a little bit different. But if you got a truck like me, for a fact, the reason why I mentioned the gears, because the gears, like these trucks, is especially if you got a crew cab or a quad cab, whatever, these trucks are heavy trucks. They're not light, and it doesn't make it easier if you got a quad cab or crew cab. So, but if you got a single cab, that's even a little bit better, but it's still heavy, you know, Dodge or whatever. But now, the gears that I know most people tend to do or put on these trucks when they're trying to make some power, it's not gonna be like crazy, but it's gonna actually help. I wouldn't say more so on the power side, more so for like more torque and stuff like that. Is really like the 392 gears and stuff. That's what I know for a fact is the best to really be putting down more torque. And now when you're doing this is only recommended if, I mean, sometimes I do know it may need a tune, sometimes I may not, but this gear, the 392, is the most recommended gear. So if you probably trying to make, I'm not saying power wise, but more so of a torque wise, especially if you got a heavy truck like me, pretty much. Now the next one I'll say is catback exhaust system. Catback exhaust system is huge, because you guys know, if you look at the factory exhaust system on these trucks, it does not help these trucks at all. But according to Dodge, it's best, it's what's best. But if you're looking at any kind of exhaust system, you might as well, I'll tell you, you got to do a catback exhaust system, and it got to be obviously performance. And this will help your truck a lot, way better than the stock exhaust system that's on here, that's heavy and really doesn't do much. Also gonna be a way better, you know, connection with everything. All these mods I'm naming, they all gonna really help bring everything together. So you want to be able to pay close attention to stuff like that. But catback exhaust, I don't really have any kind of brand that I would recommend to you. Me personally, I like AWE catback exhaust. That's what I know most Ram trucks have, but whatever brand you have, as long as it's an aftermarket performance brand, that's good for you. Now, next thing on the line, obviously you guys know, it's gonna be long tube headers. Long tube headers is definitely the way to go, and there's a lot of different brands of long tube headers out there that you can go with, but the ones I personally like, and I know for what most people say is that they fit well on these Ram trucks, is the Cook's long tube headers. Now, Cook's long tube header is one of the good brands out there. They not just own Rams, but they own bunch of different car brands and stuff. But Cook's long tube header is the one that I would personally recommend to you. But as long as you get some kind of aftermarket long tube headers, gotta be a good brand, no cheap stuff, obviously. Now, all of this right here is gonna probably be a little bit pricey, but when you doing things like this, trying to make power, do this, whatever, it's not gonna be on the cheap end. You know, you might as well want to put actual good, reliable parts into your car or truck to be able to get the best, you know, the best performance and obviously enjoy driving it. So now the next thing I'll talk about is tuning. Tuning is very, very important with everything I just said. Why? Because this is what really like the glue for everything. Is going to bring everything together. Now, if you're doing tuning, I don't know what state you're in, or you know, wherever you at, I recommend to you stick with a guy who understands Mopar. Do not try to go with somebody who don't really understand Mopar, but that say they could do the tune, because sometimes, 9 times out of 10, it's not always like that, but it's probably gonna come back and bite you in the butt. So you don't want to go to somebody who doesn't really know much about Mopar. You know, I would personally recommend to go to somebody who actually does just strictly Mopars and understand these cars 100%. That way, you don't have to have any kind of problems on your hand or have to worry about anything else going wrong. You know, you take all your money, put money into something, and then it end up costing you a lot more. That's going to be a huge disappointment. You know, you don't want that. So definitely stick to somebody who actually know about Mopar. Now, the next one is going to be camshaft. Obviously, camshaft is definitely another mod that's definitely helped these trucks a lot, or 5.7 Ram, 5.7 in general, a lot. Now, camshaft, and the next is going to be, now it's going to be forged and induction, obviously. Now, this definitely going to be way pricey if you're going to go this route of doing this, but now you could get the Whipple, or you can get an Edelbrock, or you can get, from what I'm seeing now, they putting I think the Hellcat supercharger or something like that on these cars, obviously the truck ones, but on these trucks and stuff. But me personally, I know for a fact, guys that has these trucks that make a lot of power, 9 times out of 10, I always see they have the Whipple. Maybe here and there I see like the Edelbrock and stuff, but Whipple is like the #1 best supercharger to me, in my personal opinion, that I would want to put on a 5.7 HEMI Ram, or a Ram in general. I think it's the best route to go. But all of these things here is, I personally think, is the best mods that actually really works for a 5.7 HEMI Ram. Now, there's a lot more things out there that could be different that actually works, but these are just personally what I think, and it's, I would say, pretty much proven already. So, but if this helped you, definitely go ahead and hit that like button, and that's gonna really be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Stay safe. Peace out.